One team that won't be in this conversation, but people are trying to put them in the conversation, is Liverpool. Liverpool getting another win on the Arnie slot. 2-0 against it was Brentford, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 2-0 against Brentford. And you know what? People have been kind of talking on Liverpool, saying, "Oh, they're not that good. They haven't invested. Look at their squad, and they're Arnie Slot. He's an Instagram model or a failed baddie." But what we're seeing is they're playing some decent ball, and even though it's not perfect yet, they come out with another win, another clean sheet. And Tom, how are you feeling about your team? 1 week of the window left. And that game on the weekend, what did you see? And are you confident you guys will finish in that top 4?
Yeah, I never lost confidence that we finish in that top 4. We have too many good players to not do it. And we're now playing a system which only strengthens what those players can offer, because we are not putting our centre-backs into constant 3-on-2s every 5 minutes because of a ridiculous high line. Our midfield is much more structured, so we aren't giving up as many chances. And it allows them to actually join the attacks properly rather than hopefully make the run there and hopefully it has no... There's just a lot more structure to it, which was what we were lacking last year. You can see it so far. I think we've created the most XG out of anyone in the league. We've conceded the least XG out of anyone in the league. For all intents and purposes, we have been in the first 2 games statistically the best team in the Premier League, albeit against Ipswich and Brentford. We've got a big test next week against United. It's going to be interesting to watch. It is, because we didn't actually beat you last year, so it's a big test. Can we get 3? Can we do better off than we did last year? I'm enjoying what I'm seeing now. I think Salah's back to his best. Not that he was ever not gonna be. People trying to suggest that he was washed after last season. Funny. The midfield, Szoboszlai's looking good. Gravenberch is looking good. McAllister's looking good. Defensively, we look really solid. Trent's been his brilliant best, picking out loads of passes. It's interesting to watch how Slot's managing certain players, taking Trent off early. I know that he threw his fucking toys out the pram.
Yeah, speak on that. Actually, no, I was going to ask you about that. Speak on that, Tom.
It's not a great look from me, vice captain.
Is there any signs? Is there any signs of that's actually Trent being like, you know what, bun this at the end of the season? I'm dipping.
It would be a stupid decision to make because you got subbed off with 20 minutes to go against Brentford. I'll be honest, because the way I look at that's Slot going, "You're my most important guy. Game's won. I don't need you getting injured now. You can come off. I can bring someone on to play that role now." It just looked dead stupid, and it's worse. He's the vice captain. I know that we've had players in the past do this. Salah's notorious for throwing shots when he gets subbed off. Mane tried to fight with Klopp once he got subbed off. Henderson done it before. So professionals will do this, although it's not a great look.
But the 3 players you mentioned, 2 of them left like the season after they started shopping.
Henderson done it years beforehand. Henderson done it in 2018.
Yeah.
But it happens as I know we'll be playing against United. It will all have been brushed under the carpet. Hopefully today or tomorrow. If it's something that really worked them up, I don't get it because it was only a positive move in my eyes. But I'm not letting that distract from another very good performance where we only really gave up some set piece chances. We looked throughout the rest of the game, we looked really in control, which I can't remember who said it on the post game afterwards. It's exactly what we needed last season because we burnt out last season because we'd spent the best part of 6 months playing basketball up and down for 90 minutes straight. Now, I mean, yesterday was boring for the last 20 minutes, and it's kind of what you want it to be when you're competing at the top level because you want to be preserving your energy where possible. So I'm enjoying what we're seeing. I'm liking what Arnie Slot's doing. I'm liking the way he's carrying himself, the way he's managing us. I've really got no complaints on the pitch. Off the pitch is a different kettle of fish, but we heard that earlier.
Yeah, that's not Arnie's. That's not Arnie's fault.
No, Arnie's been pretty much faultless.
Yeah, fair enough. And I like seeing you Liverpool fans backing your new guy. I know there's lots of question marks when he came in, but he's proven himself to be a useful manager right now. Let's see what he can do. But as rivals, I think, Igal, you want to say something about Liverpool, yeah?
You know what? Fair play. You guys, the first 2 games, you guys played really well defensively and attack-wise. And Arne Slot quickly is looking like he's getting implementing his style, seeing patterns of play that I didn't see under Jurgen Klopp. You know what? The first goal was very Jurgen Klopp-esque, where you guys quickly counterattacked, and to see Luis Diaz get involved. But then the Mo Salah, I think that there was one play that I highlight that really showed that you guys are playing different. Mo Salah, one touch to a player.
The whole ping around the edge of the box,
back to him, one touch, back to him. He ends up in the left wing position, shooting near post. Doesn't go in, but that just one moment to highlight. Like, you can see the managers already implemented his style. You guys are playing really well offensively, really well defensively also. And I just want to see if you guys can maintain this and for how long.
The big thing that Scott's done is he's not done what certain managers do when they go into a new club and just go, right, everything that you learned before, forget that. This is my style of playing. We do it my way. He's gone, there's certain things that we need to change, but when you get chances to go and play like you did in the under Jurgen, do it. It was the same in the first game. The second goal in the first game came from a switch from Van Dijk to Salah, which Slot doesn't like, but the opportunity arose, and it was a chance to go back to what we'd done for years under Klopp, which was get the ball up to Salah as quick as possible, see how they can play off it. Like I said, I've got no complaints about the way Slot's managed us for the first 2 games. I'm massively for the new structure that we've got. We look so much more solid defensively. Our midfield looks really good. It's lacking a DM, but it looked really good. And the attack, I mean, we've made Luis Diaz look like a good winger, which is borderline miracles from Arne Slot, to be fair. So, no complaints.
Yeah, Giuseppe, obviously, Liverpool is probably the closest team out of everyone else that's close to Arsenal and Man City. From what you've seen from Liverpool, can you see them potentially creeping into that title race like they did last year? Or is it more of just top 4 solidification and that's it?
To be fair, I've been pretty impressed with Liverpool's first 2 games. I think from what I've seen in the first 2 games, bar a catastrophic load of injuries, I think they're secured in top 4 this season. I just think they've got that level. They've got the players in their team, the experienced players in the team that will see them through to that. They're still quite. He hasn't had to sign anyone. To be fair to him, he hasn't got any new players to play with, and he's still performing at this level. Like 2 clean sheets, and like I know, like obviously Chelsea and stuff get them 6-2s, but I'm at the start of the season, I'm more impressed by clean sheets, to be honest, because it shows a structure. It shows a team that's like all fully structured out. So I think Liverpool will be all right. Will they creep into the top 4 to the title race? I think they'll be. Cool. I don't think they'll be in the title race because I think you've got to be there right near the end of the season to be in the title race. But they will be one of the teams where it's like, hold on a minute, Liverpool could do something. I think Liverpool will be up there, but I just don't think they've got the squad for it, to be honest, this season.
No, I don't think we're ready for the title challenge yet. I do think we're lacking certain positions for that, but I've got no worry about us falling out of the top 4. Like certain people were telling me earlier this window, you're going to finish 6th.
It's almost like you could just finish 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I think 3rd is Liverpool's, to be honest. And the thing is as well, it's like, because the only thing about this Liverpool team is I do think you lose a Van Dijk or something on it for an injury, then it could start looking a bit tits up, because I think he's so important to your team. And I really am disappointed in the Liverpool board that they haven't given this manager.
What do you mean? We're signing Chiesa now. We're signing an Italian guy. You should be on board.
Listen, the contract situation could for Van Dijk,
that bothers me.
Salah and Trent. Do you think when it comes to January and they could all leave for free, clubs start circling? Do you think that's the only thing for me where I think Liverpool's?
I've got to be honest. I'd like to think they get close quickly.
Plan.
I do think we have an element of power on, not power, but like an element of trusting that these players aren't going to do deals without at least hearing a proposal offers. But whether the proposal we put forward is actually fair and not disrespectful to some of the greatest players in this club's history, that's a different kettle of fish. The only player that really does worry me about going is Trent, because he's got a real club offering for him. Like, you know, I don't think Madrid are going to go. I don't think Madrid are going to go for a Van Dijk or a Salah, but they will go for Trent. And if Madrid aren't going for Van Dijk and Salah, I don't necessarily see which club do go for them that can.
Saudi? Offer Salah.
I don't see either of them two being fine with going Saudi at this point in their career. They're still performing at the very top level. They're still, regardless of some of the best players in the world in their position.
Yeah, but you're saying that you got Bayern Munich, who probably were going. Yeah,
Barca can't even register Olmo, man. Let's not. I'm not including Barca.
They find ways. They find ways to make players say yes, even though we all clearly can see something will go on in that club. But players are still mad to say yes. There must be crack in that shirt or something because people are attached to it. It's crazy. But no, I hear you, Tommy. I think your team are developing nicely in the slot already. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that you will let go of the likes of a Salah or a Van Dijk or a Trent.
If you let go of Salah, it's bad. I'll be honest. If you let go of Salah, it's because you've not got anyone. There's still no one on the market, and you've not got anyone in your squad who's developed into a 30-goal, 20-assist guy.
True, but the way that you guys are playing, what do you say?
Chiesa.
Okay,
I'll be lucky if he gives me 20 games, let alone 20.
The way that you guys are playing, to be fair, you can kind of see it being more of like a revolving door of your strikers and your wingers, like just getting goals. It's more going to be spread out, potentially, no?
I'd say that, but then you go look at the start of the season that we've had, and Salah's been massively involved in every single goal we've scored, even in pre-season. He's that good that we kind of just built this team, built the attacking in any way around what he can do. And I've said that on a couple of streams. When you look at what we have on our right-hand side, I do think we have the best right-hand side in world football in Salah and Trent. I don't want to let that go. Why would I want to let that go? It's still performing at the very top level. The two of them have been easily in the top 3 performers for us in both games that we played so far this season. It's not like I've got the Salah that ended last season, who looks so off it and is needing 11 chances to score a game and this, that, and the other. No, I've got a Salah who looks like he typically does. Clinical, creative, ruthless. We've got a Trent there who looks fine. Van Dijk's looking brilliant. There's no reason to not give these guys new deals because they're not showing the sign of a decline, and you're not going to find better than them on the market.
That's true. I think this season you guys, again, consolidate the top 4. And if things are going well, if things are going perfectly, even without signings, you could then, I think you can push the top 2, but whether you guys will maintain for the season is yet to be seen. Guys, remember to smash that like button. You know what it is. Remember to subscribe to the Football Terrace. We're going to go through some super chats before we move on to the next section. We've got, what's that? I reckon it's Andingra, then Isaac in 25 to 26.
He's talking about Arsenal.
So when Arsenal there with a transfer, maybe Andingra is a good player. He destroyed Man United, which is not hard. Is Slot's tactics with the fullbacks the same as Ange?
Slightly different.
Yeah, like the closest you'd say is that Trent gets in similar positions, but I don't think Robertson or whoever we sign for left back would play in the same way Udogie does. I think that's more of a left centre back or wing back type. I wouldn't see them dropping into the positions that Udogie does. I know Trent and Porro do the same things, but they do it in different ways. Porro doesn't have the passing range that Trent does, and Trent doesn't have the physicality that Porro does and the pace that Porro does, so they'll play it differently. I can see why the comparison would be similar because of the positions that Trent was picking up against Brentford. But I actually liked the way he was playing against Brentford because we actually got him back out wide. Who would have thought getting the best crosser in the world out wide would lead to actual dangerous crosses going in the box? It's like we forgot that last season.
Yeah, fair. That's true. Fair enough.